go ahead and call to order at 5:28. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Bowers, would you like to lead us on our pledge? Okay, we'll go to the roll call.
Commissioners Michelle Bowers. Present. Catherine Carlson.
Present.
Andrew Mercy.
Present.
Timothy Wiley.
Present.
Vice Chair Russell Bartlett. Absent. Chair April Bartlett. Absent. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Public business from the floor. If an individual is unable to stay through the entire meeting due to extenuating circumstances, a total of 10 minutes is provided at this time, during which input may be given regarding agenda items. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Any person who would like to address the Architectural and Design Commission on any agendized item is requested to complete a speaker card for the recording secretary and identify the agenda item you would like to discuss. Each person will be given an opportunity to address the Architectural and Design Commission at the time such item is discussed by the Architectural and Design Commission. Speaker cards are available at the entrance of the council chambers. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Being no speaker cards, we'll move ahead to our consent calendar. It consists of approval of minutes from the last meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote using our buttons. Okay, the minutes are approved. Okay, moving along, we have presentation commission discussion.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Randy Davidson from the Planning Department. I met with you all a couple of months back regarding scheduling a tour for the Boulevard to address the music on the Boulevard. And so I'm here today to see if everybody can open their calendars so we could possibly pick a day in which we can have at least a quorum to go out to the Valencia Mall to listen to the music that they have out there and compare it to what we have here and see if any changes need to be made. So if everybody can open their calendars and let me know. We would like to do this before June 5th if possible. I'm not available starting May 16th through I'll be back on the 27th, so anytime before that or after that. Does anybody have anything available?
The 28th and 29th, I'm unavailable.
Okay.
And let me see here.
I'm sorry.
All right. You wanted to do it during the week, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So what Marion is telling us is that is June 5th that morning available for everybody?
No.
No? Okay. Any other?
Are you anticipating a full day?
No, just, I would say, probably take us about 45 minutes to get down there, probably an hour to walk around, and we can just come straight back. So roughly 3 hours, I guess, three and a half hours.
Well, how about, you said you're leaving on the 15th?
I'm leaving on the 16th.
16th, okay. How about the 13th, 14th? How's that look?
Those two dates don't work for me, but I'm just one person, so.
Okay. So we have Mercy and
The
Wiley for the
12th?
Okay.
I don't think I should be counted into the vote, actually, because uh, I'm actually resigning.
Oh, okay.
So I probably shouldn't be counted on. But it sounds very fun, and I can recommend some restaurants to eat while you're down.
Okay, Brian, you have any comments?
Does the 12th, would that not work, or,
It does not work for me, I'm sorry.
okay, let's see.
Okay, how about we do this, Commissioner Bowers, what days work for you, and then what I could do is, I'm sorry, I could just see if the vice chair and chair are available on any of these days. That would give us at least 4.
Let me see if I can look at this. Give us at least 4. I can do the 19th and the 22nd through the, I'm sorry, the 22nd you're not available, correct?
I'm leaving out of town on the 16th. I
On the
won't be back
16th.
until the 27th.
Okay. The 28th works for me.
Okay,
The 30th works for me.
okay,
The 2nd,
okay,
or the 5th.
okay. Okay, I'll take these dates and I'll send an email out to everyone on the commission and see if we can get a quorum and let everybody know. Okay? Thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, any other discussion on that item 2? Hearing none, we can move ahead to Boulevard Monument and Wayfinding update.
Good evening. I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. My name is Luis Garibay. I was here several months ago to first talk about the wayfinding program, which the commission ratified in terms of helping us create not only some new districts throughout the city to kind of help identify unique areas, but also to help us identify local attractions that may not necessarily may be located on the fringes of town, but are obviously things that both residents and visitors alike would be interested in seeing. So we wanted to make it easy for them to find some of these things. The comprehensive wayfinding program, at least the first phase, was ready to go with your approval, but unfortunately we hit a little bit of a roadblock. Now the good news is that the city of Lancaster is not the one that's kind of holding up the project. If it was all up to us, we would have been done by now. Unfortunately, some of our partners, as I'm sure many of you know, working with people outside of your organization is sometimes difficult to do. So we're continuing to work through those hurdles though, and we should be getting going on the actual bidding and construction of those signs very shortly. While we start working through that progress though, we do want to let you know that there are other aspects of this program that we continue to work on. One of the things that involves the districts is the need to kind of help create that new that look and feel that's distinct for these different areas, beyond just a regular wayfinding sign on how to get there. So the idea of kind of creating some more iconic district signs kind of came about. Now obviously we have a big city, so what we decided to first tackle is kind of based on Brian's philosophy of kind of working inside out, is really focusing on the core of the community. community. So we decided the first one that we would take on was the Boulevard District. Now, if you remember a couple of years ago, the Boulevard went through a whole branding process to kind of create, and I apologize because I'm definitely no art major, I'm not a graphic designer, so I'm kind of going just based on the conversations, what some consider a kind of Art Deco with hints of kind of Art Nouveau style design, and for those who've seen the buildings downtown, you know, they incorporate both of those elements. If you haven't had a chance to drive down the new Cedar Street building, they did some beautiful renovations both inside and out, and again, keeping the concept of the Art Deco building, but again, kind of incorporating a little bit of the Art Nouveau with the fencing and things. So we wanted to keep that in mind as we started looking at different iconic monument style signs that we could kind of come up. So what we did with the help of Signs and Designs is create kind of an entryway monument sign to the Boulevard District. As you can see, it kind of still incorporates both not only the brand itself in terms that that sense of arrival that you're arriving to the Boulevard, but also gives us an opportunity to brand our community and our city. You know, long term, we hope that this kind of becomes that photo op opportunity that, you know, everybody's on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter taking pictures of these kind of the iconic signs so that people know where you are at that given point in time. So the where this would be located, and I apologize, we're trying to get some better pictures for you. This is the design. Would be on Lancaster Boulevard, just outside of, I guess it'd be in between 23rd Street or Valley Central Way and 20th Street West. It's underneath the overpass that on there on the freeway to kind of give you a little bit more perspective. But you can see that this is a huge sign. It would measure somewhere in the 24 feet high, and obviously it's still visible from a distance. So the idea is that for the visitors that are coming in from the west side into the downtown area, they know that they've arrived. We've also picked this location for strategic reasons because it is located near the freeway, and although the sign's not created for freeway traffic, it does catch people's attention as they drive by and saying, hey, what's there? Maybe I should get off on the next exit and see what's down on this boulevard in the community. The other aspect that we're very proud of is, you know, this is an older area of town, is that we just didn't want to put the sign up by itself. In order to get that full that full experience, we thought it was important to incorporate some new fencing around it so that it kind of creates a true corridor as you're driving down there. So again, we use the poppy from the Boulevard sign, again, that Art Deco style, and incorporate it into some fencing that also matches or will closely match the color schemes of the Boulevard, which is that kind of that gray, that darker gray tone there as well. So we hope that maybe that long term, this is something that we can incorporate in other areas throughout the district where there's a need for public fencing like this. This is the Amargosa Creek channel, so it also hides a little bit of that ugliness too at the same time. So again, this is the concept that that we're proposing and moving forward with. The good thing about this program or this particular sign is that we'll be able to move a little bit more quickly on it. We don't have to worry about underground utilities and getting permits and approvals. This is something that we can move relatively quickly on, and are actually just about to finalize the plan so we can send this out to bid and hopefully have that awarded before the end of June. So just wanted to kind of give you a brief update on some of the things that we continue to work on, and again, the wayfinding signs and those monument signs are things that we continue to do. But again, we wanted to show this to the commission, and again, I think because we've learned, you know, through those initial hurdles of some of those heartaches, we're better prepared now to make sure that this sign gets done, and to be quite honest, will probably be done before the first wayfinding sign, which is unfortunate, but you know, sometimes you got to roll with the punches, right? So with that, thank you very much for your time. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions regarding either the wayfinding program, the monument sign, and again, we hope that this Boulevard sign is just this district sign is the first of many that we hope to incorporate throughout the entire community.
I was curious as to, has there been consideration or any discussion about the other end of the boulevard?
Yeah, the challenge with that is that AV High School kind of becomes that, and I know Lancaster Boulevard runs kind of further out, but it kind of becomes the end of that. So there's been some thought of it, but nothing definite at this point. It's definitely something we can explore though and see if there's an opportunity to do some of those things. The other thing that we can also do, and again, this is just still in the early development stages, but of kind of creating smaller, there's communities that have the distinct district signs, hey, you're in this neighborhood, and again, it doesn't have to be anything very complex, but that that you're driving through this certain neighborhood or area or district that you can incorporate in other areas, not necessarily just in signs, but even things as simple as concrete, concrete stamp in the different areas as you're walking for pedestrians or other things like that. So it's definitely something we can look at and explore, but right now we don't have any plans.
Is there going to be any other signage, I guess, that would say "See the Boulevard"? Something like an advertisement of it, other than, like if I'm on the freeway and.
The challenge with that, and we went through this process. We try to bring everybody together and kind of think through some of the ideas. The original concept for this area was actually huge letters that spelled out Lancaster in the middle of the street, which unfortunately, to get the right perspective though, the letters would have had to have been like 80 feet high. It wasn't feasible. The other thing to keep in mind is that there's other opportunities for us to create signage on the boulevard. I know that's something that, if I'm not mistaken, the Boulevard Association group is working now, is to try to come up with signs off the freeway off-ramps, both off of K and 15th, and potentially even J and 20th, and even I, showing, and I'm sure you've seen in the communities, downtown district or the boulevard, next exit, and incorporating it that way. So again, it's part of a bigger plan, so that it would incorporate not only the freeway side of it, but then also the wayfinding to get you to certain locations, and then once you get there, some sort of identifier to know that you've arrived to that specific district.
Thank you.
Right.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for your time. Okay. Is there any other discussion on item 3? Hearing none, we'll move ahead to new business, the Lancaster Transit-Oriented Development Zones.
Good evening, Commissioners. Since our last meeting on February 6th, the consultant presented a similar PowerPoint presentation to the Planning Commission on March 17th, and the Commission is currently reviewing the document right now. And at the upcoming May Planning Commission meeting, the Commission will again open up the meeting for discussion and accept comments from the public. As a recap, this document provides a user-friendly way to implement the community's vision and expand the revitalization that is already underway on the boulevard by providing unique and focused development standards. Property owners will appreciate the amount of flexibility offered in the code. Code supports strengthening the integrity of the older neighborhoods, yet allows property owners to expand their fiscal use of their property. At this time, once the Commission feels it has had adequate time to review that document and the questions and concerns have been addressed, staff recommends the ADC adopt Resolution 14-01, approving the TOD zones document to the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a motion? A motion to approve, adopt ADC resolution number 1401, recommending to the Planning Commission approval of Lancaster TOD zones.
You made it,
Okay.
and I'll second it.
Oh, okay. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. I'd just like to say, I want to thank not only the staff, but the residents of Lancaster, the property owners in this area. This moving forward with this couldn't happen without everybody working together. addressing concerns. I know staff did that, our consultants did that, and I know a lot of us have spent some time out there talking to folks as well. So I appreciate everybody's hard work on this. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. Nail biter. 4-0. Okay, motion carries. Public business from the floor, non-agendized items. This portion of the agenda allows any individual the opportunity to address the commission on any subject regarding city business. Under state legislation, no action can be taken on non-agenda items. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing the commission regarding items not specifically referenced on the agenda. Please complete a speaker card for the recording secretary. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Seeing no speaker cards, we will move forward on adjournment. Having reached the end of the agenda, if there's no objection, we will adjourn to Thursday, June 5th at 5 p.m. in the Lancaster City Hall Council Chambers. No objections, meeting is adjourned.